Well, hi guys, Juan here. So last night I was watching an episode of Netflix's Sense8 series, which is actually a really good series. If you guys have not watched it, you should. They're not paying me to say that, but I really enjoyed the series. It's actually pretty cool. So just saying, if you're looking for something to watch, that's the series to watch. But anyways, in the series, they had a scene where a lesbian couple talks about gay pride, the event, and some of the things that she said were really nice. It really struck me. Like, it got me thinking about gay pride, about why would I celebrate it or why not, and all those things. And I wanted to share those thoughts with you. One of the things about me is that I don't really attend gay pride celebrations. That's not to say that I don't support them, that I don't think they're cool and all these things, but I don't attend them. And there's reasons why I don't. Even though there were homophile activists in the 1950s and 1960s, gay pride, you could say, was really started after the Stonewall riot. If you're not familiar with Stonewall riot, a really quick summary. In essence, gay bars in the 1960s were used to being raided by the police. They would confiscate liquor and just make lives for homosexuals difficult. In this particular instance, the cops took it a little too far and a riot ensued, which brought about a lot of publicity, which is a good thing. A good thing in the sense that it brought more awareness to the cause of people that were being persecuted for their sexual orientation and brought this issue to the forefront of American politics, or at least began to. That's a quick and dirty, there's a lot more to it. But I mentioned that because it's important to note that the gay pride that we know today is because of that, is because of the events that took place, the discriminatory events that took place against a certain group of people. Gay pride is celebrated as an annual reminder of what the LGBT community has suffered throughout history. Obviously, I think this is a good thing, because as the saying goes, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. So it's important for us to remember what happened, to remember how a particular group of people were persecuted, were mistreated for something that they had no control over. With that said, coming back to today's pride, I have a few reservations about pride, and what you're about to hear is completely my opinion. You can agree, disagree, and I would love to hear from you. You know, this is really just a friendly discourse, but this is my opinion about what currently is pride, or at least what I see that pride currently is. First of all, when you think of pride, or when you think of the pride celebrations, at least I do, the first thing that comes to my mind is a half-naked guy. It's just what it is. And that's not because I'm thinking about half-naked people, maybe. But in all seriousness, what you have is parading people in their underwear and some flashy attire and some not so flashy because it's non-existent attire. You got all of that stuff going on. My question is, given the history of pride, given the history of what is supposed to allow us to remember, is the current pride doing that? And I don't think so. Like, for the longest time after I came out and started getting involved with the gay community, if you will, I really did not know the history of pride. I just thought it was a celebration that, you know, celebrates being who you are, being LGBT. Little did I know that it was actually a celebration, a remembrance of what happened in Stonewall. And you know, of course, it celebrates a greater identity of who we are now, but the root of it, I think, is lost. And I may be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see the root. What I do see is a lot of this, and this, and this. If gay pride is something I'm supposed to identify with as a homosexual, I find it hard to do so, because I'm not that. I consider myself a fairly modest guy. But seriously, I find it difficult to see how running around in my underwear is really bringing awareness to who I am as a person, and the history of people like me who have struggled and who have been persecuted, I just don't see how that really represents me or us, if you will. And again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure that there are people out there who disagree with me strongly, and that's okay. But for me, it's just a question of why, as a community, as a gay community, why is it that we have to identify so strongly with something that sexual? Like, why can we wear a t-shirt? You know, and maybe you could say, well, that's a celebration of freedom, and that's fine and dandy. But for me, I think it's a misrepresentation of freedom. You know, I'm a gay man. That's not the best thing about me. And that's not even necessarily what makes me me. There's so much more about me that makes me me. We're still villainized in the eyes of religion and in the eyes of some politicians and all that stuff. But it still saddens me that when I tell somebody that I'm gay, they immediately kind of stereotype me with gay pride, underwear wearing men. I'm not like that. There's much more to me than just me running around in my underwear. Now, there are a couple of things to know when it comes to gay pride. First, not every gay pride celebration is the same. You know, I think that there are some legitimate gay pride events that do justice to remembering what we've gone through, or what as a community has gone through, because I personally haven't gone through what people from the 1960s, 50s, and 60s have gone through. Ultimately, I think it would be great if, as a gay community, we could identify with something other than underwears or ripped abs or great dresses or whatever. I think it would be great if we could identify as people. Like, what's the purpose of me showing my junk in public? Like, there's no denying that we've gone through a lot. There's no denying that we've been persecuted. There's no denying that we are hurting and that we are, you know, that we go through a lot on a day-to-day basis. But there has to be another way to represent that. There has to be another way to celebrate the victories that we've had and to celebrate our history. There just has to be another way. So for me, and again, this is just my opinion, agree or disagree, I don't necessarily go to gay prides and gay events or wear a gay sticker or any of that, not because I'm ashamed of who I am now, but because I think I'm much more than just that. If I'm going to identify with something, it's going to be me. Because I think that when we limit ourselves to identify with something that specific, we miss the fact that we are so much more, that we are so much more amazing, that we are so much more beautiful, powerful, more. We're more. We're people, for goodness sakes. We're humans. We think, we create, we have art, we have music, we have engineers, we have math, God, math, English, we have school, we learn, we heart, we cry, we love. We're so much more. You know, I'm all fine and dandy for gay pride. Now, gay pride is about a period in our history where people like me were persecuted, were harassed by those who were supposed to be protecting them. It's remembering that, because if we don't remember that, it's bound to be repeated. Thank goodness we're making progress, but we still need to remember why we're making that progress. We need to remember where that progress originally started from, right? Right. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So if you have any comments, please, by all means, feel free to share. Please keep it civil, though. I know this can be a very emotional, heated topic, but I'm just sharing my opinion, and opinions are good. So let's share them, let's learn from each other, and go from there. And I think that's it. I'll see you guys next week.